Hello everyone and welcome back. I am going on a bit of a rant today, which means I'm going to take just a minute and clarify what the difference is between, say, the rant videos and our other content. We do try to keep our historical videos, our informational, like our herbalism videos, as unbiased as possible. We don't always succeed. Of course, we have inherent bias that we're not even aware of, but we do try. Whereas the rant videos are completely the opposite of that. And we started doing these because I tend to go on like ranty digressions in the middle of our more educational content, and giving me a space to vent prevents some of that, not all of it. But right. I tried earlier today to give this rant just to Yun, and to just sort of express what it was that was frustrating me. And I'm not sure that I succeeded in doing so in a brief or coherent fashion. So I don't hold a lot of hopes that this will be brief or coherent, but I'm gonna try. So I just recently started posting on TikTok. I don't have a lot of content on there yet, and none of it's particularly, I'm like in 3 of them, I think I'm talking about lipsticks, because I get asked questions and I feel comfortable answering it in the quick little videos on there. Anyway, I have also just been spending time on TikTok and in witch talk in particular. And there's something that's bothering me, and it relates back to something that bothers me in a lot of communities a lot of the time, which is going to be a separate rant for another day, which is, oh my gosh, why are we allergic to nuance? Why are we incapable of having nuanced perspectives, of teaching from nuanced perspectives, of acknowledging that oftentimes the middle and more complex route through 2 very extreme perspectives is actually correct? Now, please don't think that I mean then that you should be a centrist or that you should be a moderate in United States politics, because American centrists are far-right fascists from any other perspective. Yeah, so not what I mean. But that's a rant for a different day, so not going to get into that now. I am instead going to present a situation in which I feel there is some absent nuance. Now, insert disclaimers here that this is not every video, this is not every witch whose content I've encountered on there, but I am witnessing a debate from 2 very extreme perspectives, and I just want to express my opinion on it. So, one perspective is that all witches should work with deities, work with the gods. And one perspective is that all witches should worship the gods, to in some way be lifting up and praising and being in abject devotion to the deity or deities. And I'm going to stress no witch should be telling other witches how they should be witches. Of course, there are examples that are counter to that. Obviously, I'm going to oppose any witch that supports sexual assault. I'm going to oppose any witch that supports any kind of inappropriate behavior at festivals, at, there's things that I oppose, of course. That's not what I mean. Opposing the individualized, unethical actions of a witch is different than saying, I get to decide how your practice should work for you. Now, one of the things that I'm observing as these witches debate back and forth is that they're going, well, my practice, the way that I do this, whether I work with a deity or whether I worship a deity or deities, is so ancient. Correct. On both counts. Here are all these examples from ancient religions that supports that this is a very long-term way that humans have behaved. Correct. For both. Here is how in my faith, religion, spirituality, tradition, path, etc., we have done this for forever. Correct. For both. Absolutely. Going back as long as we have written records, we have examples both of people having very intimate relationships wherein they are on terms that would not be considered, abject devotion or obeisance, with deities, and examples where people are in complete I worship you, I obey you, I do as you will with their deities. Both of these are ancient. This debate as to how you should interact with the gods isn't even new. We've been having this for a long time. One of these days, I'll do one of my super long history videos on this, but that's not what this is for. It's not new to debate whether or not you should be having conversations with your deity or deities, arguing with your deity or deities, or just doing as you're told. It's not new to debate whether they should be invited into your home as a member of your family, or that you should go to their home and worship them very publicly and praise their name and make sacrifices. These kind of debates have occurred in various faiths, traditions, cultures, religions, spiritual paths for thousands of years. All that being said, both of these paths are ancient and both of these paths are valid. So having people say, this is ancient, correct. Having people say, this is valid, correct. Having them say, therefore, you must do it my way, incorrect, incorrect. There is no witch pope. You cannot excommunicate someone from witchcraft just because they do it in a way that you don't like. Not all witches even work with deities or worship deities at all. There are atheist and agnostic and secular witches for whom a relationship or obedience towards a deity or deities, it doesn't even come into their witchcraft at all. So the nuanced path here is you do what works for you and stop telling other witches that they need to do what works for you. Right. There is a side rant. Sorry, I am trying to keep this under like 10 minutes. The side rant is just because it's ancient doesn't mean it's valid. And just because it's ancient doesn't mean that it is right for people now. Traditions grow, they evolve, they change over time. We argue with things from our past and we wrestle with them and we make our peace with them and we decide whether something works for us or not. I am in the process of this with literally 3 different cultures that I'm in some way, connected to, descended from. It's my heritage, it's the culture I was raised with, or it's something that I found out later and I'm trying to make my peace with it and learn about it. I'm not going to get into that. But this is a personal thing for me too, right now, wrestling with the laws of my own peoples and deciding where I fit into that and what I'm comfortable with maintaining and supporting and setting out for the next generation to wrestle with as well, and what I feel has had its time and it's ready to be laid down and laid to rest and no longer kept burning to light the path for the next generation. Just because something is ancient doesn't mean that we should be doing it now. We learn better. We grow, we change, we evolve, and our traditions, cultures, faiths, religions, and spiritual paths should do so as well. So although I'm seeing all these people go, it's ancient. Yes, both of these are very ancient. And it's valid. Yes, both of these are valid paths. The fact that they are ancient isn't what makes them valid. All right. I think that's everything that I wanted to say. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave me a positive comment. I do try to get around to deleting and blocking any truly aggressive or heinous comments. And actually, in the last month, everything's been amazing. Y'all have been great. I've been really enjoying reading through your comments. And send me either questions for our renewed, we're starting again, our new Ask a Witch series, which is a renewed series from something we used to do like 2 or 3 years ago. Send me questions for Ask a Witch and send me things that you want me to rant about. And that's everything. Be safe out there, everyone.